Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's edition of the Trump Revolution Report. News of the Trump Revolution featuring Ivo Fisic, your friendly but revolutionary underground reporter. Today's date is January 30th, 2017, day 11 of the Trump Revolution. On this episode, we'll talk Regulation Nation getting punched in the face. Another round of Feinsteining, yay, boo. Trotting out the dead child. Coffee and racism and you. And finally, Potty-Mouthed, Prog Journo gets Reprieve. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our top story. President Trump signs executive order that changes how regulations are created. That's right. President Trump guts Regulation Nation. President Donald Trump delivered on yet another campaign promise today when he signed an executive order that hits the Regulation Nation with a devastating blow. President Donald Trump signed an executive order that requires any new regulation that is enacted must be accompanied by 2 regulations that are deactivated. He had a signing ceremony in which small business owners surrounded him. One of the business owners thanked the president for helping to free small businesses from the onerous red tape of overregulation. President Trump said this will be the biggest such act that our country has ever seen. There will be regulation, there will be control, but it will be normalized control. Yes. This is exactly what a dictator does when he takes power. He signs executive orders reducing the power of government to control people's lives. Or so the Progressive Party press will have you believe. It is telling that right after the signing, the first question shouted by the press was, "What do you think of all the protests?" This is a monumental act by the president to fundamentally reverse course on the progressive empire of regulations that has been used for far too long to push their anti-American, anti-prosperous agenda behind closed doors. The so-called party of the people is really the party of the regulators, which is decidedly not working in the interest of the people, but in the interest of the very powerful allies and sponsors of the progressive hate machine.
So this is small business, and this is regulation, and this will be the largest ever cut by far in terms of regulation. These folks are small business owners, and they're great people. They've been representative of the community, the small business community. If you have a regulation you want, number one, you're not going to approve it because it's already been approved probably in 17 different forms. But if we do, the only way you have a chance is we have to knock out 2 regulations for every new regulation. So if there's a new regulation, they have to knock out 2. But it goes far beyond that. We're cutting regulations massively for small business and for large business, but they're different, but for small business. And that's what this is about today. And this will be the biggest such act that our country has ever seen. There will be regulation, there will be control, but it will be a normalized control where you can open your business and expand your business very easily. And that's what our country has been all about. Should I sign it? That's great. That's a big one. Do you have anything to say to the press, anybody? Would you like to say something to the press? Anybody? Become famous back in Syracuse? Anybody?
Just thank you for doing this, because small business has just been buried in a tidal wave of red tape. And to break that will really change the world for us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Any comment on the protest, Mr. President?
Thank you, Brett. All right. Thank you very much.
Please.
Folks, I'm not going to lie to you. This story is a little bit difficult, even for me, Ivo Fisic, your underground revolutionary reporter, to deliver. Prog's climb on back of dead boy to win political points. Prog show picture of dead boy to attack Trump's executive orders on immigration. The progressive hate machine is showing it has no decency and no moral standards once again. This time, it's displaying the picture of a young boy who washed ashore dead during the Syrian refugee crisis in the summer and fall months of 2015. The boy died on September 22nd, 2015, after the boat he was in capsized and he drowned. He washed ashore later. This image is being used by the progressive hate machine to pin the death of that child on President Trump's executive orders that affect refugee travel to the United States. Democrat Chris Murphy tweeted, "To my colleagues, don't ever again lecture me." Wait, hold on. Let me do that in a Weasley way. "To my colleagues, don't ever lecture me on American moral leadership if you choose to be silent today." Other similar outrages have been blasted by fake news operatives, the Progressive Party press, including CNN that claimed Trump was blocking 134 million people from entering the U.S., and Huffington Post, which showed a picture of the dead boy with a headline that read, "Slamming the door." Trotting out the dead child is a favorite tactic of the progressive hate machine, which relies on emotions, not facts, to sell the masses on their deadly agenda of anti-Americanism. Now, never mind the fact that I'll never get used to saying that. Former President Barack Hussein Obama was in office when the death of this child took place. Never mind the fact that it was Obama-led American bombs, weapons, and money that helped fund the foreign invaders in Syria, which helped destroy a nation, murdered hundreds of thousands of people, and left cities across Syria in utter ruins. No, it's far easier to crudely display the picture of a dead child, an act that screams vulgarity itself and attempts to make the masses somehow connect the death of children to sensible security measures, than to try to convince the American people that not asking reasonable questions of the people coming in, not doing a fair analysis of the process through which people are allowed to enter this country is somehow reckless and will lead to the drowning of children in the seas. Because we do not play the same perverted game as the progressive hate machine, we will not show this picture. And shame on you, Democrats. Shame on you, progressives, for exploiting a child's death to attempt to undermine American security here at home. Are you so desperate to destroy this land that you are willing to do it on the back of a dead child? Apparently, the answer is yes. Prog's aim to make America safe for terrorists again. Feinstein Dems move to undo vetting of immigrants. Dems seek to undo the security President Trump just enacted through his executive orders. The change is being led by California Senator Diane Feinstein, who stated in a series of tweets that she would be introducing legislation to reverse the security measures President Trump enacted and open American borders up once again to unvetted immigration. She said the legislation will immediately rescind the order and limit executive authority under the Immigration and Nationality Act. Feinstein stated through tweets, "Congress must take swift action in response to President Trump's discriminatory order. I am drafting 2 bills to introduce tomorrow. The first bill immediately rescinds the order. The second limits executive authority under the Immigration and Nationality Act. Under our bill, the president would not be able to unilaterally ban groups of immigrants." Just to be clear, folks, President Trump's executive orders call for a temporary ban of travel from 7 targeted countries the Obama administration identified as terror risks not the Trump administration. What these progressives are attempting to do, and no doubt the rhinos will seek to help them, is to disarm the chief executive officer, the president of the United States, from making basic international security decisions that just about every other president has been able to make. And why? Because they suddenly are concerned about all the dead and displaced Syrians that the Obama administration created? No! Because they might be able to score some emotion-led points with the uninformed and easily manipulated masses. Is Starbucks racist? Starbucks to use race and ethnicity in new hiring practices. Starbucks to hire 10,000 refugees over the next 5 years. Starbucks has made a brilliant marketing move, note the sarcasm, last night, January 29th, 2017, announcing it intends on hiring 10,000 refugees, Syrian refugees, over the next 5 years to fill positions in shops around the world. Company CEO Howard Schultz said, "We will start this effort in the U.S. by making the initial focus of a hiring effort on those individuals who have served with U.S. troops as interpreters," trying to soften the blow there, "and support personnel in the various countries where our military has asked for such support." Ah, yes, trying to soften the blow there. Starbucks is just proving once again how it is unwilling to become the coffee, how it is willing, rather, completely willing to become the coffee flagship of the progressive hate machine, no matter the economic cost. And folks, you gotta admire that kind of courage, or depending on how you look at it, stupidity, unless of course you're a shareholder. So, just to be clear, Starbucks is pledging to give top priority to hiring people to refugees. There would be, from the targeted countries, people of certain ethnicities. To put it another way, Starbucks plans on discriminating against whites and blacks, for that matter. Well played, progressives. Well played. Mike Jerrick back on air after dropping BS word on morning show. Fox 29 reinstates swearing anti-Trump Prog Journo. Local fake news media outlet Fox 29 is bringing back one of the co-hosts of their morning news show, Good Day Philadelphia, after a week of suspension. Last week, Mike Jerrick dropped an expletive in his attack on Kellyanne Conway after viewing a clip in which Kellyanne Conway used the phrase alternative facts. By the way, folks, that is not a euphemism for lying, as the Progressive Party press is reporting. Alternative facts simply means our facts don't agree with your facts. She was being nice and not calling you, the Progressive Party press, the liars that you are. Jerrick countered that she's good at bull-s facts. He let his Progressive Party press credentials be laid bare for the world to see, and his party bosses applied a token 1-week suspension of the Potty-Mouthed news Journo has-been. Jerrick was once an anchor on Fox News before being, it seems, permanently demoted to local work. He came back and apologized for using the BS word, but not for helping to contribute to the fake news story that Conway was addressing in the first place. The now debunked CNN picture that alleged to show a sparsely attended inauguration for President Trump. Showing that progressives are the sexists they warned you about, Jerrick then joked that maybe the weather person, Serio, should distract from his inappropriatenesses next time to, quote-unquote, get me off the hook by flashing the camera. But it's okay. It's okay. Jerrick is a member of the Progressive Hate Machine and the Progressive Party Press. Double bonus. So it's okay to be a sexist pig. It's so wonderful to have Jerrick back, however. Given his lack of discipline displayed last week, we have every reason to hope he'll continue to show the world what naked progressivism, I can't even say that, naked progressivism really looks like.
They're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
Alternative facts. Is that going to be a new one in fake news?
That is a good one, though. You know,
What do you mean it's a good one?
She's good. She's good.
Well,
You
what
have to
are
give it to
alternative
Kellyanne.
facts?
She's good at bullshit. She's good at bullshit. She's good at bullshit.
Can you say that on TV?
Yeah, we're sorry
It's a
about that.
morning show. I know how to upset Mike.
BS.
Moving right along.
Thank you for joining us on this Trump Revolution Report, bringing you daily news of the Trump Revolution, featuring Ivo Fisic, your underground revolutionary reporter. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the Trump Revolution Report from TrumpRevolutionUSA.com. And you can find out more about the Trump Revolution and be sure you join us at join.TrumpRevolutionUSA.com.